Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who are new to this series, or may need a bit of a refresher, the Weekly Challenges are a set of 5 events that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These include 4 races that can already be unlocked in the game, making your progress, while the 5th is a special event that usually takes place as a one-make race, a time trial, a mission challenge, whichever comes first. So with that out of the way, let's see what this week has in store for us. So we kick things off with the Sunday Cup. This is a 5-lap race around Northern Isles Speedway in a road car. And of course, the suggested performance points tend to be 380. This is usually one of the easier races, so any car really, because it tends to be permitted as long as it's got road tires. For this, I'm just going to use this Honda S660 that I already own, and it's pretty much already there with no tuning, so pretty light, pretty easy to drive. Now for a lap around the place. And of course, at the horsepower that this car has, it's pretty easy to navigate around here. So usually go about 5th gear, lightly lift, and that's just basically to get the car to turn on the bottom. Legs right on out, close to the wall. And then a slight gentle lift, again, just to get some traction to the bottom. And then back on the power dial here. And just that quickly, that is a lap around Northern Isles Speedway. Now, onto the race itself. And the best spot I found where overtakes is basically on the top lane, since the AI tend to love hugging the bottom all the time and usually don't deviate too much. Now you will have to be aware when they start battling each other, because occasionally they will slow down or start sliding up the track, so if you already got momentum going, you're going to need to keep an eye on that, because then they'll slow you down, and that might cause a less than ideal outcome. So if you have a clean race, just keep an eye out for that. Next, Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. This is a 2-lap race at Kyoto Driving Park, Yamigawa. And a road car specially tuned from Japan with a 4-wheel drive, suggested 600 performance points, as the name suggests. And the car I'm going to get, this is basically a cheat code if you can get this, and that's the Suzuki VGT here. It's a default setup, sports softs, pretty much will be good enough for you. Now, let's do a lap around here. So we're going down the front stretch as we go across the finish line here. I'm going to brake now to about 4th gear here, and it's all about momentum this track. So keep to the inside, and then accelerate right on out. Out to the curbs here in 5th gear and 6th. In this car you will kind of want to do a slight lift, since the rear does tend to get a little loose around. And be gentle with the power, as you can see there, because of that hybrid system. So we get around here to 6th, 4th gear, and again carrying some speed, and then slowly accelerate on here. Use a bit of that curve there if you need to. Try not to use too much of that one, of course. And then we set ourselves up here for turns 8, 9, and 10. So that 8 through here onto the curb, and about accelerate here. You can pretty much make it through this. And we're heading through 11, this right-hander. I'm going to brake just as that box comes to the right for 12. And again, get right to the curb there. So right on out. Onto the curbs a bit. That's this line. And 13th and 14th is about tricky. So you want to lift off a bit here, then downshift to 14. Hit these curves. You want to be as straight as possible. And then you get to the corner there. Brake before the 50 board, I would suggest. You can do this with 3rd gear, and then accelerate right on out to the curb over here. Keep on going down the stretch here. And that is a lap around Kyoto Driving Park, Yamigawa. And now, on to the race itself. So the best spots for overtaking I found were turns 1, turns 6 through 8, turn 11 through 13, and turn 15. And you want to be aware of the AI through turns 2 through 5, basically the S's, Turns 9 and 10, as well as T14. They tend to bunch up here. They'll slow up quite a bit. So if you are going to make some passes there, be careful, because they tend to grow up quite a lot. They will slow you down. May cause contact even. Next, the Race of Turbo Sports Cars. This is a 5-lap race at Watkins, Glen, long course. 700 performance points or less, and a car that has turbocharged. And you can see all the examples here. And I'm going to take out something here that I haven't driven in quite a while, and I very much love driving this. It's my Jaguar XJ220, my LM race car build that I've done there. So, let's take a lap around here. So we got down the front straightaway. Pretty much the only real circuit and this weekend. So brake right at the 200 board to turn 1 over the curb. So right on out to this curb right here. You're going to be going through the S's, and this is where a nice little airline car is good. So turning it right here. A slight lift if your car does feel a little bit wobbly through there. And now here we come here to the bus stop, sometimes referred to as the interloop. These curves here. I always go in third gear, carrying a lot of momentum. And then we go through the carousel here. So accelerating right on out. And then we go into the chute here, or what's known as the lace of the boot. And then accelerate right on out to the curb here. And then we want to brake right at the 200 mark as we enter the toe of the boot. Again, keep close to the curb. Accelerate right on out. Past the boxes here. And then we want to brake right at the 200 mark here as we go to the heel of the boot. Accelerate right on out to the curb here. And then this time brake at the 100 mark, second gear. Don't accelerate yet, so about here. You have a lot of curb to catch the car. And then here, stay in third gear through turn 10. Plenty of curb to keep you on the road there. And then turn 11, again, third gear. Carefully accelerate. Try not to hit the wall on the exit. And that is a lap around Watkins Glen long course. And now, on to the race itself. So, I do overtaking spots I found here were turns 1, the S's, the bus stop, the chute, the heel, and turns 10 and 11. And the only spots I would not recommend is the turn 7 and turn 9, as those tighten up pretty quick and the AI are very slow. So you try to do a clean race there. Probably avoid not trying to overtake in those spots there, just for your sake. Next, the World Touring Car 600. 12-lap race with 3 times fuel use and 12 times tire wear. Tokyo Expressway's Clockwise. 600 performance points or less. This tends to be one of my least favorite races. It was one that frustrated me for the longest time. So a car I'm going to use is the one that I finally beat this race with all the time ago. It's this Honda NSX here. And the only real thing I did was just put racing brakes on it. Just because I was kind of desperate at that point. So, let's do a proper lap around here. And this is a pretty long track there, so it's going to be a lot of speedy sections there. And one thing I will say, the race itself is going to be a lot more greasier. It's not going to be super wet, but it's also not going to be super dry. So, this is about as close as accurate as I can get. So anyhow, come to this corner here, brake right at the 200 mark, slow down to about third gear, stay close to that corner there, slowly accelerate a little bit here, repeat the same here, then accelerate on out. And then here's a lot of sections here where in the race itself there's going to be some puddles and some greasy spots on a dry line. And you mostly want to stay to the inside. It'll pretty much ring especially true for the race itself because of how greasy the outside is. Then, brake fourth gear through here. Full on acceleration about through this section. Go right. And you want to set the car up to about here before you brake into 4th gear for this corner, and then accelerate. Careful, you'll get the rear out a little bit. And 4th gear through here as well. Accelerate again. And coming up here, want to brake right about before the 50 mark here, 3rd gear. Accelerate. And then here you kind of want to hold off right till about here, until that Trans-Urban sign passes to your right. And keep on the acceleration there, and I tend to minimize the line just by doing that. And then brake right at the 150 board, right into 2nd gear. And what I tend to do is just to minimize the amount of time I'm going to slow it. So I have it straight, then accelerate out of there, and that usually gives me a bit of a gap if I'm in front of a car. So accelerate all the way down here. Pretty much a big old straight there. A lot of fast sections, like I said. And before you know it, that is a lap at Tokyo Expressway East Clockwise. Now onto the race itself. So, some quick tips for those that can do it with their proper car. Sports hards, no need to change. Honestly, the only thing you'll be pitting for is fuel at this point. And obviously one stop, for me it was lap 6, which is a pretty good distance into the race. Stay in the dry lines and away from the puddles. That will help you a whole lot if you're doing that the proper way, again, with your car properly tuned. But if you're frustrated, you could also do what I did that first time when I got through this race, and probably what I'm going to do here, which is just basically put on easy and wall ride. Finally, the special race, the Yangwang U9 one make, 5-lap race at Grand Valley Highway 1. And of course, the Yangwang U9 for the final time. So, I'm gonna get mines out here, and I've modified mines quite a bit. I've kind of based the setup off the Ferrari FXX, so you can pause that if you want to see that setup there, because it was kind of brief. So here, I usually brake just before that 500 board. Get the car kind of woke down, and accelerate right on out. And then I just kind of am off the throttle gently about here, just to make sure it comes to the corner, and then back on, because there's a grip, and then brake at the 400 mark. Come around this turn here, then accelerate, usually as soon as I see those barrels on the other side. Then brake at about the 100 mark, and then harder just before that sign. Dip a wheel bit into there, not too much though. Again, and I don't even accelerate all that much here. I just slowly put it in there and then accelerate as soon as the car is straight, and then brake right about 200 mark. It'll be a little hard to see in the tunnel, but it is there. Here I don't accelerate too much. I just kind of wait, angle the car a bit, and then accelerate right there, because it's straight enough to where I can get on the power and nothing happens if I do. And 300 mark, and you'll notice I brake very early there, because again, as is the case with the other Ojo car, it's very heavy, so you want to brake way earlier than you're usually used to. And even with this racing setup I have, I still have to do that. So through here, you could pretty much flat out through this section. Here I have a gentle lift, just to make it, and then back on. So out of the tunnel we go, full speed here. And the finish line's right here. And that is a lap around Grand Valley Highway 1. Now, onto the race. And the ideal passing spots I found were turns 1, turn 4 and 6, turn 10 through 13, and turn 16 through 18. Beware the AI in turns 2, 3, 7 through 9, as well as 14 and 15, because they do tend to bunch up and slow down. Brake about 100 meters earlier than usual, and be gentle on the throttle. That's always the key to this car there. So, that is it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed that, whether you just logged in or haven't logged in quite some time. If you did enjoy this, give it a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you be notified when these go live Fridays at 1 p.m. So, till then, stay safe, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next video.